Hello, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another Fortnite news episode. Plenty of updates to talk about today. We're going to break down, of course, the 7.2 content update number 4. This is the 4th update on this patch, one of the longer patches we've ever seen in Fortnite history so far. Along with that, though, Epic responding on several sources, Reddit as well as Twitter, with future updates for the game, and we'll break all of those down for all of you. They will be timestamped down below if you guys want to bounce around. Let's hop into our first, though. A hotfix change just released last night. If you guys did not catch this, a great release, though. Many people complaining about the Ice Legion spawn rate, especially late game, just being way too hectic. I agree with you guys, and Snood also agreed. He said after Circle 2 in his tweet that apparently they should be deactivated. It made a lot of sense. Epic did respond somewhat close to that, and now after Circle 2, the spawn rate of the Ice Legion creatures will be decreased by 80%. So a great update moving forward, as well as all the people who actually kind of struggle with your Golden Brute challenges because the spawn rate was too low. They also bumped that spawn rate up by 100%. We've already seen across the forums people completing that challenge. So Epic going definitely in the right direction with its hotfix, and certainly fixing some key issues out there. That a lot of key problems still do persist, but definitely a great hotfix. Alongside that, it was actually Epic also responding to a Reddit post about campfires. This Reddit post was actually talking about campfires that once your health was full, potentially could actually heal your shield, and this was their response, potentially saying now in the future update for campfires, those interactive campfires that of course don't do anything currently on the map, they want to make them interactive, and you can actually light them up, and they for 25 full seconds they will then heal you. So an update for the future to look out for, guys, is those campfires around the map that do nothing currently could be interactive and actually heal you for what we know for health right now. Will they be for shield in the future? We'll wait for that one as well. On top of that, of course, if you guys were here on Monday, we broke down DrLupo's video. He actually talked about an FPS issue correlating with, of course, your fire rate of your weapons. Therefore, if you had lower FPS, your fire rate was actually lower as well. It was a very marginal update, and Epic did respond saying they'd be investigating the issue. So that's great to see. Epic responding on Twitter, on Reddit, as well as kind of fixing these problems. A hot fix and 2 responses, as well as some hints at future updates. I cannot complain. Those are some big things coming. Alongside that, for all you people out there still trying to fix your visibility in fog, let me tell you, you cannot do it unless you're colorblind. I think the marginal improvements they're very, very tiny, but I did test it for all of you guys in case you wanted to see the actual correlation or comparison between your regular viewer settings on Fortnite. I did compare it as well, and now the new, I guess, speculation out there is actually trying the color blindness settings. I tried out DrLupo. That's actually the first one. I probably mispronounced that heavily. What you're supposed to do is compare, of course, your regular Fortnite settings and then change it to DrLupo and turn your brightness down to 0. I did try that, guys. I tried Protonope. I tried Tritanope. I probably mispronounced all of those, and to me, at least me personally, the fog visibility remained the same, or at least maybe a tiny bit better, but in terms of colorness and all the other colors, it kind of bothered me more to actually play with those color blindness settings on instead of actually have that slight advantage in the fog. Tfue play with this, guys, other streamers as well, and we saw really no improvement. So if you're trying to fix your fog, your visibility inside the fog, I don't think it's actually currently possible with any settings out there. We can only cross our fingers and see that Epic maybe has a hotfix and actually reduces that visibility or increases it because it can get pretty thick. And finally, breaking down content update number 4 on this patch 7.2, guys, I would say one of the very few updates we're going to see, or that we have seen in quite some time, with relatively few complaints out there because there was no item added, no weapon added that we can actually fully complain about. Of course, there were complaints about a few things we'll talk about in a minute here. The first of which, though, snowmen have now been released. Pretty much a better alternative to a bush, or I guess you could say better if you want to. Now everyone's just going around shooting them. They actually give you 100 external shield when you wear them. You cannot build, you cannot shoot though while you wear them, so pretty much only during rotations are they really effective for 100 shield, external shield to you. Not really affecting the game too much. I would say not too many complaints out there about them so far. Kind of just a funny addition to the game to keep some people interested of the few that currently are. I did want to also kind of briefly touch on the amount of streamers out there as well as pro players currently tweeting about the issues inside Fortnite. Definitely brought to my attention was Courage's tweet just a couple days ago, guys, about his loss of interest, and it does obviously hope for the best in the future of these updates, and hopefully an update does come to actually reinterest these guys, but it's kind of sad to see that kind of stuff. Now, speaking of which, many of the problems out there that streamers have had recently, we've really definitely noticed, is the actual decrease in spawn of shield potions out there. Now, they've actually, Epic, that being, has actually switched the spawn rates of minis and bigs, which does benefit people a little bit, right? Now you have more chance to actually find 75 shield, that being 3 minis, as compared to 50 shield, that being 1 big. It does make sense, a little bit more shield. It's not really substantial changes with those percentages being swapped, but currently right now with the Ice Legion in the game, it's not too hard to find shield. So I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that once the Ice Legion is actually gone, these spawn rates for both minis and bigs are actually increased a little bit to help with the lack of shield potions seemingly on the map. And also, very lastly, 3 more vaulted weapons or items out there. The quad launcher, the grappler, as well as the porta-fortress, the quad launcher, and of course the porta-fortress I don't think too many complaints about. The grappler is one that many people did complain was kind of broken right now. I think I've seen so many comments back and forth about maybe it should have 5 uses, maybe it should have 15 uses. There are so many people pro as well as against the grappler. It's kind of hard to argue this one, but I cannot argue against that. This update, this content update, brought some huge nerfs to mobility. We also saw reductions in 3 different types, guys. Of course, the grappler being vaulted, that being mobility. We also had quad crasher as well as stormwing / that being the plane spawn rates decreased heavily, and also glider redeploy. The spawn rates of those have also been decreased. It's actually amazing to see in just one update, guys, mobility's been reduced by, well, a pretty drastic amount. Grappler, quad crasher, planes, alongside that also being the glider redeploy chances of those spawns as well. It's pretty crazy where we're going right now. It seems that Epic is trying to prioritize. You need to know when the storm is coming. If you don't, you have a lot less chance to find a way out of that storm. We saw a lot of times people just find planes, they stay in the storm for a long time, they find a quad crasher. I don't think the quad crasher needed to actually be reduced in its spawn rate. I've never seen really any complaints about a quad crasher. You're not using it to really brutalize anyone. You're not using it technically to really break down builds anymore, or to actually try and, you know, kill a player like a plane. So I don't really know why they reduced the quad crasher as much as they did, but still a huge mobility nerf, and that's where I'm seeing the most backlash so far. Definitely a big change for the game going forward. What do you guys think about that? But as always, my name is Jake. I'll be back here sometime soon, hopefully to break down 7.3 if it does come soon, because it's been quite some time. But as always, I hope you guys will enjoy this content breakdown. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought, and until next time, I'll see you then.